should be finished too, right? Yeah, you are. And you're finished too. So it's just you and you. One bot and one puzzle piece. Ah, oh right, I remember Susan Arnett's profile pic. I never thought about the Escapist in a long time. That's a deep cut. Remember when we all learned that the Escapist was mob money? That was a fun time. Like, there were direct ties to the Escapist and the Mafia. That's a weird thing to contemplate. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think I was also gone by that point. But yeah, I remember... Did they let Ian Miles Chong onto the writing team of The Escapist? Am I making that up? I feel like that happened. But also, like, memory is weird and often wrong, so maybe I'm making that up. I know about that era of Ian Miles Chong because here's some New Dark Cloud Brandon Carey lore. There's a podcast I did very early on, called the Hulk Game Crit Podcast, and before we learned who he was, Ian Miles Chong was a regular on that show. So I have had the privilege of speaking directly with Ian Miles Chong. Now, odds are he would not remember me if you asked him about me. Because he's a grifter, it has no morals and no, like, allegiance behind what his paycheck says he should have. But he was a part of that podcast. And we went one direction, and he chose not to join us. Because he wanted to go alt-right. But I was once co-hosts with a chud. That is the Brandon Carey lore. That is my lore. I was a college student at the time, and thankfully I was never an alt-righter. I can consider myself lucky in that respect. But That was, like, a part of my history that I do have to account for. It is possible. I'm not going to discount the idea that, like, he would know who I was. If asked about it. But something tells me Ian Miles Chong has his own problems, because wasn't he accused of being a traitor to his country? The Philippines? Oh, that was funny. That was funny. I don't know if anything actually came of that, but that was funny. The very last... Okay, at least this is an open area, so odds are, like, something I missed would be pretty easy to get. God, Gamergate, what a fucking time. I have another Gamergate story, actually, that's a little less personally embarrassing than having a relationship with me and Miles Chung at any point in my life. Back when Gamergate started, the vivid memory of a friend of mine, a friend, in quotes, which is kind of a hint to how the story went. At the time, I remember he DM'd me on Twitter out of the blue, because that was back when Twitter was still, like, the place to be. And said, "Wait, do you support Gamergate?" And I was horrified, because the idea that was associated in any way with Gamergate would be like, that's not something I want to be associated with in any way, shape, or form. And I was like, no, I would never associate with Gamergate. And he looked at me and said, "Man, I thought you were smart," and then blocked me on Twitter. And that was a fun time to be around. It's like a Gamergate chud looking at me and going, "Man, I thought you were smart." Oh. I don't even remember his name anymore. Like, I have a name. I think I might know what his name is, but I fucking couldn't remember it. Like, I wouldn't be able to, like, spell it correctly. I would have no faith that my memory is accurate in any way. So, unfortunately, I have a lot of, like, chud lore. Which I guess just kind of comes with being someone who was on the internet in the, like, the late 2000s, early 2010s. Do you mean, like, through me, Onyx, or, like, you have an own separate Gamergate relationship story that you wanna, that you have under your belt? Oh, that's so fucking... Oh, that's interesting. Like, a street passer ended up being a chud. That's interesting. I guess girls can be chuds too. Nothing saying they can't be. We are equally opportunity chudsters here. Okay, that's where our missing puzzle piece went. Now still the issue of the last Astro Bot. You know what? Fair. I think that's acceptable. That's an acceptable use of Gamergate. He's accusing anyone you kill. Like, it's like when I kill someone who has a Cybertruck in Fortnite and I go, lol, idiot. Can you imagine paying money to let the world know you have you like Elon Musk? How embarrassing would that be? Was it really just right here the entire time? It's Octodad, the dadliest catch! We got him, folks. We got him. Yoshi's character is Octodad. I could see that. I could see that. That tracks with Shohei Yoshida. Because these days he's like a big indie guy, right? Right, we haven't finished this level yet. Like, these days Yoshi has a lot of independent stuff. Because he was always more focused, he always cared more about doing that than doing like the AAA stuff. Even when he was like a Sony executive. So I would believe that like Deadliest Catch would be like, or Doc Octodad would be one of his favorite like characters and possibly even like indie games. Octodad's a good game, though. I can see why Yoshi would like it, or at least identify with the character. Although honestly, Octodad's the character who is tailor-made for a Japanese salaryman. Oh, he likes Stray Cat. I also like Stray Cat. Those are good picks. Astro Bot, Stray Cat, and Octodad. Those are good picks. Those are good, like, novelty picks, too. Those aren't like the, like, oh, I like Kratos because he's so badass kind of picks. There's actually some thought put into that. I see. Now let's see. We're missing an Astro Bot as well. Probably not too far into this level. Yeah, very not far in this level, apparently. We're making good progress on this, like, wrapping things up train. Also, we don't have to finish. We can just leave mid-level as well. That helps speed things up a lot. Hold on, don't you? Damn it! we'll come back for that meteor later. Oh. Well, we'll go for it now. What was the... Speaking of dumbass movies, because I forgot the Bioshock movie was a thing. I remember the Elden Ring movie allegedly is still happening. Oh. Ah, I see. Yeah, they're making a fucking Elden Ring movie. Because that makes a goddamn lick of sense. Board member. Oh, like, this is nice. Like a cool borders kind of guy. Elden Ring seems like a weird one to do a movie of anyway. Because, like... so much of Elden Ring is just lore. Not story. So, like, why would you bother? Like, I just don't see, like, what would even, like, be attractive about doing an Elden Ring movie. It's genuinely baffling, like, prospect for me. Alright, we have time stop here. Now, you know, my weird brain looks at the Elden Ring movie and goes, man, the Sly Cooper movie died for this? Now, I say that. Having watched the Ratchet movie, I am frankly not convinced that if the Sly movie happened, it would have been good. I am frankly not convinced that is true. But I at least see the vision for what a Sly movie could look like. At least I could see, like, what you could do with a Sly Cooper movie. Even if I think the idea is probably not going to work out the way I'd want it to. Oh, whoops. That's bait. That's bait. Oh, you know what? That's probably climbable. I fucking get up there. Do I get up there? No, that's just death. Oops. has to be a route. Am I overthinking it? Is it really just like... I am probably overthinking it. Yeah, I'm overthinking it. 100%. Yeah, 100% overthinking it. It's way easier than it looks. Yeah, like, we are in an era now where video game movies don't automatically suck shit by default. Like, people tended to enjoy the Sonic movie. The Sonic movie was not trash. The Sonic movies were actually really good. So, like, we've seen that video game movies don't have to be bad. And I will say, with the Ratchet movie, part of the problem was less the concept of doing a Ratchet and Clank movie, and more, like, the writing team for the future trilogy was not the same writing team that wrote the earlier games, and they just do not have the bite that they used to. And so they tried to soften up the edges on Ratchet, and because they softened up those edges, he ended up having like a net zero personality in that movie. And in fairness, that probably wouldn't happen with Sly. Because Sly doesn't really need any, like, sanding on his edges. It's hard to believe that the puzzle piece is at the very end of the level. Okay, but Bird Brain... Okay, yep, Bird Brain does say it. I even saw it briefly. Alright, it's spinning right round, baby. Right round. Okay, I see it. I see it. It's spinning right round, baby. We got it. Now he's got to finish the level, and we're all good. Actually, we don't even have to do that. Goodbye. But, that Elden Ring movie sounds really terrible. That Elden Ring as a movie as a concept sounds like a poorly thought concept. You're missing one in the local level, which is fine. We'll get it. I don't know what they were thinking. I thought the BioShock movie was canceled. Are they still making it? Like, that was over... That feels like it was like 2 decades ago. That feels like a decade ago at least. They can't still be making the BioShock movie, can they? Let me look at this up. Everything we know about Netflix's upcoming BioShock movie reported 5 days ago from GameSpot. What the fuck? Boy, Netflix really doesn't have any fucking ideas of its own, does it? At least they bankroll like one of the few one of my favorite like movie franchises, so I can't be too broken up. But it's like fucking hell. How are we still talking about the BioShock movie in the year of our Lord 2025? What the fuck is going on? Good lord. We're missing one at the end, towards the end, so it's gonna be a hot minute before we actually see it, I think. You know, I saw the Borderlands movie on New Year's with some friends of mine. That movie is actually disastrous. And yeah, like, BioShock hasn't been relevant since Infinite. So, I am 100% with you. I do not understand what would inspire such faith in that property that Netflix is currently in the middle of bankrolling a BioShock movie. We need to actually, like, pop. That was the last puzzle piece for this section. Once I can actually get in there! Rude, man. There we go. We got there. We did it. Was BioShock Infinite really 12 years ago? No, that makes sense. Let's see if we're done with this galaxy. Alright, we got one more to go. We didn't do the X voids. Or if you're in Europe, the cross voids. I mean, the reason people talk about Mario all the time is because Nintendo is like one of those like houses where all of their properties are almost always like constantly spoken about, even in hushed tones. Like, people still talk about F-Zero and Metroid, even though, like, for a long time those properties weren't going anywhere. Yeah, that's because like with Mario, your grandmother played Mario. Like you had there is some cultural cachet just built into the idea of Mario existing. So that makes sense to me. Like Grandma Nuns watched Timmy play Mario when he was like 5 years old.